was holding back news 3 months to the day. They were watching TV when his phone rang. The call from the interview said we gave it some thought. We're all thinking you're the man for the job. He held out his hand and asked her to dance. With a big smile she said, "You're gonna be a dad." And dance, we dance. In the pouring down rain or a bright sunny day, laughing to crying, spinning and flying, hand in hand every turn. Dance when there's not enough words.
Absolutely beautiful song. Just to match this absolutely beautiful lady, we have Karree Phillips in the studio with us today. How are you doing today, Karree?
I'm doing good. Busy after our storms, but I'm good. No damage. It's just, cleanup. Yep.
That's a good thing. Everybody's safe. All the animals are safe. I just got to go pick up the mess. Sounds like
Yeah,
Mother Nature,
and
you know.
fixing fence and now we're preparing for a winter storm event coming, yes, on Wednesday. So it's about 4 to 5 inches of snow. We'll see. Yeah.
That's the fun stuff. I was sitting out on the patio on Sunday with the baby, and then it just all of a sudden started looking like Illinois, and I was like, it's time to go inside. And then I asked the mister when he got home, I was like, is this supposed to snow? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, I can smell it in the air. Mr. Frost is close. And then just for giggles, I got on and looked at the radar, and for a fact, it was snowing about 30 minutes for us. And so 30 minutes away is too close for snow for me. Like, I can't do it. I already smell it and don't want any part of it.
Well, it is pretty, though. You got to say it is pretty. A blanket of white snow, but yeah, if you got to drive in it, it's too scary. Yeah, I don't like driving in it.
Pretty if you have the blessing of living in and not in a concrete jungle. If you have the blessing of living out where you can see the blanket of white and not just the chaos of mush and
Right. Yeah, I have a ranch, so yeah, I'm blessed. So we have 100 acres, so yeah, it looks real pretty. But yeah, the poor cows are always hunched up and it's cold, but they got lots of hay, so everything's okay. But I got to feed again, so when they eat more when it's cold. But yeah.
No, definitely. That's when you got to pull out the grain and give them those extra pounds to keep them through the winter.
Yep.
It's always a struggle. I grew up in the Midwest, and man, winter has changed so much in the last couple of decades. It's just those farmers are struggling up there to get crops in, struggling to get crops out, and it's a mess. So if y'all have opportunity to do the farming in your own yard, I suggest you start doing it because you're gonna need it in the future.
Yeah, that's why I wrote the song. It ain't easy being country because it's a hard life. It's a good life and get good food. It's a blessing, but it's not easy. I co-wrote it with Dave Lanahan, and it goes over real well and showcases the vocal because I have a lot of range, so it showcases it. So it's a fun song. So we wrote it, a true story about my life.
Right. And I've definitely experienced the further away from the city you get, the less excuses you hear because we don't have opportunity for them out in the country. That's for sure. That song that we just listened to, Dance, we talked about it a little bit the last time we had you on for an interview. You want to tell us about the song and tell us, where it's gone? Because I know that thing has hit the charts all across the ponds.
Yes. Yeah, it's exciting. I wrote it with a dear friend and Alan Webb, and it's a story about life. You can sometimes just don't have enough words for your joy, and so you hold each other and you dance. And this morning, a good friend of mine, Bob Houston, he just shared his wife is a nurse, and one of her patients had a surgery this morning, and it was cancer surgery, and they got it all. And so he goes, the first thing I thought of was your song, because the second verse on it talks about the cancer's gone. You've got lots of years left. They got a call from the doctor and everything is A-okay. And they held each other and they danced. And that's what the song is about, just the simple things in life and the joys and the blessings. And they danced without words. So that's and it went number one on the European country music charts. Yes. So that was exciting.
It seems that Europe kind of likes us a little bit more than our own people do sometimes.
Yeah, they embrace us a little more. Yes, they do. And value the, traditional country and all kinds of music. As long as it's done well and you come from your heart, they really embrace it. Yes, they do.
They absolutely love the traditional in the country. And it's amazing how many stations are in the UK and dedicated to Texas country music. And you're Nashville. We support artists who support us. So if you're in the top 200, you automatically qualify. But if you want to get on our radio station, start liking and sharing and reaching out, come to our events, build that relationship, because that's what it's about. I see Uncle Rhino in the comments, and as he says, we can go far. Together we go farther. And that's absolutely what the station's about, and what everything we're doing is about. Kind of just remembering that, what it took for us to be proud to be Americans and doing our part, and supporting those who are, the news every day tells us about all the bad things. So we're here to tell about all the good things.
The good stuff. Yeah. The simple, awesome things. Yes. About making music and making people happy and having fun doing it. Yes.
And so what got you started into being a songwriter and putting your stories out there for you to be able to experience awesome experiences like that couple calling you and telling you that, they beat cancer and you were the first person they thought of?
Yeah, it was like, wow, that was special. And I've had others come in and go, while I sang it, and they start crying because they're a cancer survivor, breast cancer, and she goes, I did it. And she goes, that song just moved me. I'm like, wow, this is cool. You don't realize how it'll touch people until you put it out. It touches everyone in a different way. And as long as it touches your heart, that's what counts. But I'm an artist first and toured international. I'm originally from northern British Columbia. So I've toured all over in Canada, then came over to the stateside and toured all over here. And then I had a baby. And so then I was like, okay, well, I can't tour as much. So I went back to school, university in Murfreesboro. And there was a elective there to take songwriting. And I was like, yeah. And I fell in love with it. Now I'd already dabbled in it, but then, you need to learn the rules of songwriting. And then once you learn the rules and what you're supposed to do, then you can break them. It's all okay. Then you make your own rules. But that's, and then here in Nashville, well, it's the primo of writing songs with hit writers, and like Texas as well. And so then you've got a band camp of songwriters, and we write together, and it's like a relationship, a real close one, because you're bouncing ideas off, and it's a safe space that you don't, anything can be said and anything taken. If you don't like it, well, that's okay. It's not hurting anybody's feelings. It's just to make the song better. And I fell in love with the craft, and it really is a craft. The more you do it, the better you get. So that's just keep on writing, keep on getting better ideas and better thoughts, and make them. And the hardest thing is to make them simple, so that the simplicity of it, I'm like, how can it be so hard to make something so simple? But it is, so that everybody can identify, and that's the joy in it. So you just keep writing.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that we touched a little bit on your song, It Ain't Easy Being Country. So I want to give them a preview of that and then come back and talk about some of the people that you've co-written with.
Yeah, sounds great.
Life's for you if you love to work. Rule on the ranch is the critters come first. Cup of coffee and you're out the door. chickens and saddle my horse. Check the cattle and then the fence, and I ain't even had breakfast yet. Country love is what we're living. Country love, I'm damn proud to live it. See, my soul can't let go. Just one thing you gotta know. No matter what you've been told, it ain't easy being country.
You could definitely hear that inflection in your voice when you were like, I had this whole mess and I haven't even had breakfast yet. Because
Yeah.
there are definitely days like that in the wilderness.
Oh, yes. And there's more to do. It's never ending. Yeah. So you got to love it. It's a way of life. That's what it is. So
There's
Texas
no
knows all about it.
copy that works faster than the sentence, the animals are out. There's
Exactly. Or, yeah, especially, yeah, you get a call. The cows are out. Oh, you're wide awake. All right.
wide awake. You're like, how
No
many
coffee
miles is
necessary.
this one gonna be? Like,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
remember I was pregnant with my first daughter, and there was a bull. We did not know it was a bull. We thought it was a very large heifer loose on the interstate, possibly pregnant. It was like almost spring, late winter. And apparently they had been chasing it since 6 a.m. And I had an Adidas jacket on because that was like the thing back then, you know, the black with the stripes. And I got like, because somebody hits that thing going 80 miles an hour, there's not going to be a cow. There's not going to be a person that hit that thing
No.
either.
And that's why they're trying to get it so fast and trying, but the animal doesn't realize that it needs to get off the road and it fights you. Yeah. And it's a scary thing. Yes.
Yeah, so we thought we would be helpful because that's what country people do. They help the neighbors out still.
Right.
And I made it about 7 feet from the front of my minivan and looked at my stepfather and said, we need to get back in the van now. I
Big
took
boy
off.
was all nervous.
Oh, yeah. Cows don't stop when there's something behind them. If something is stopping and it has a truck behind it, it's not a cow. It's a bull. And you better move because it ain't happy. It's
Nope.
being chased. I made it to the minivan, and my stepdad knew that minivan wasn't going to take a good hit if he went. So he went in the cornfield thinking that there was a fence, and there was not. Man, we ended up with a bunch of like 300 pounds of meat after that little nice gesture. Country living is crazy living, man.
Yes, it is.
Some of the artists that you've gotten the chance to co-write with.
Oh, it's been a journey and it's fun. Some hit writers that I wrote with, Gerald Smith, who wrote What Part of No Don't You Understand for Lori Morgan. And he's a wonderful human being and so talented and so humble. So, and he needs prayers too, because he's not doing real well. He's had diabetes. So he's sick he's sick. So he needs your help. And, then I wrote with, I'm still writing with Jan Buckingham, who's like Miss Super Duper Wow lady. She's out there. She's 70 and she does more than most 20-year-olds. She's out playing and picking and writing every day and loves it, walks 4 miles a day. And she's wrote so many hits for so many artists, Grammy nominees. So that's a blessing. Then I wrote, who's the other one she wrote with Garth Brooks. I wrote with her. And then others that have done real well locally. The one I wrote, It Ain't Easy Being Country, Dave Lenihan. And Norm McDonald's one of my co-writers, and he was big name with a band of his own back in the late 80s and so, Troop of America, and the list goes on and on. There's many of them, up and coming ones. I wrote with J4 Wandis, who now is doing fabulous. He's got Christmas songs all over Hallmark and getting into the other movie venues. So it's it's just been a really great ride, and there's so many talented people here, and you either gotta live up to the to the bar, or you give up. And so I chose to raise the bar, stay in the game.
Speaking of raising the bar, did you have the opportunity to open for Winona?
I am in July 18th in my hometown in Fort St. John, British Columbia, Canada. There's a huge event that he is establishing. It's like in its third year, and he does it up like Nashville, big, perfect sound. He had Tanya Tucker a couple of years ago. I opened for her, and this year I've got Winona that I'm opening for. So it's exciting. Yeah, it's fun, and he does great pictures too. He has a great photographer come out, and they do great photo shoots. So you get a lot of great shots as you're performing. And I just added them to my new website, so that's out, and it's under Karree Phillips. And not somebody else took my J from me, so I was like, I couldn't take my own domain name. Like, dang! So I looked on there, and it went to the Chinese website. I'm like, well, that's not me. So I had to go Karree Phillips, and it's then when you go on the website, it says Karree J. Phillips all on the splash. But so I'm both anyway. But so check it out. There's the new pictures and new stuff, and say hey on my website.
How would you describe the experience of, I'm sure that you were probably, growing up listening to songs by Tanya Tucker, Winona.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how does it feel to be able to like be on the same bill as somebody that like helped inspire what you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's surreal. It's just like, I remember washing dishes at my hometown, and it gets 40 below there, and you're in there washing, jamming to Tanya, and Winona's a hero. And then now I'm going to be, with them. Is like, wow. I don't know. You just kind of got to pinch yourself and then say you worked hard, and I guess I deserve to be here. So, but it is, you can't help but honor them because they paved the way. And so we get to reap the benefits and have fun with it.
Absolutely. Another thing Uncle always says, and it's so true, is that you can't grow a plant without the roots. And so being able to pull from those roots while they're still around is like, that's an honor in itself.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Here in, I meant to say what it was, where I'm playing is the Energetic County Fair. That's the official name, the website name. And so there's a lot more artists, and then he also includes many rock bands too. So he has a rock band day, and then he has a country music day. So it's really a big event, and it's a lot of fun. And so it's bringing a lot of people into our little hometown. So that's cool. Yeah.
Well, and I know you say you do a lot of Nashville, but Canada is where your roots are from. Tell us about your song, Alaska Highway.
Yeah, Alaska Highway. It was a songwriting competition, sort of, to come out and write a song to honor the 75th anniversary of the Alaska Highway. And that was built by Americans and Canadians, and in a very amazing feat of only 8 months. And they built it through rock and steep cliffs and muskeg, which I talk about. Muskeg is like quicksand in the north, and there's no bottom because it's a permafrost. And when they bring in the heavy equipment and leave it overnight, the next day, equipment, big cats, graders, all gone. They disappeared, and lives were lost. People were frozen. The temperatures are extreme. And never mind that, you might be eaten by a grizzly, so there's all these wildlife problems as well. But if you ever have the chance to drive up the Alaska Highway, it's the way God started the world. And it's so raw and beautiful. When we went, we herds of buffalo all over the roads. You've got tasseling and fighting bear over on the ditch. I mean, just play fighting. And I'm like, we're videoing, like, dang, we're in TV watching these animals, goats, mountain sheep, all climbing on the sides. It's just like, wow. And eagles and pristine water and pristine beauty. And so I wrote the song for the 75th anniversary, and it was chosen as one of the songs to put on the album out of, I don't know, 50 or 60 songs, and 10 of us got on there. On the CD, it was given to the Alaska Highway News in the Alaska, on Anchorage, Alaska, Channel 2 News. And they said, we want to use your song as we're doing a whole big spiel on it. And so they did. So at the end of their Alaska Highway journey and that, then they used my song as their theme song. So it was cool. So it's a lot of fun. So if you close your eyes, you can take a trek down the Alaska Highway, so to speak, in 3 minutes.
Heck yeah, well, you guys will have to go check out her Spotify, check out her brand new website, check out her Spotify. Yes, listen to her song Alaska Highway. We have another song we're gonna check out. Red. I knew I was gonna do that.
Yeah, I know, it's a play on it.
Wine and Blue Jean Girl. Tell us a little bit about this song.
So it is a play on red, white, and blue. So that was the thing, red wine and Blue Jean Girl. I love red wine, and I like a nice glass at the end of the day. Not every day, but I like it. And a great pair of blue jeans, and just, just being a down-home girl and your feller in that order. And enjoying the simple things in life. It's called Red Wine and Blue Jean Girl.
Well, we are going to go ahead and give this a spin.
Light us a fire in the fireplace. Wanna hear your playlist, soft and slow. Full moon is shining, casting shadows. Turn down the lights, pour us a glass of Merlot. I wanna be red wine, blue jean girl. Don't need to buy me diamonds or pearls. Be my one and only, I'll be all yours. True love is worth more than all that money in the world. I wanna be your red wine and blue jean girl.
I don't hear you, pretty lady.
Every time. I suck at the mute button. I need an assistant. I said that's like a perfect, like just taking a stroll, like a Sunday walking song.
Yeah.
So
I need blue red wine and blue jean girl. Yep. Thank you.
Such an awesome vibe. What is your being on the farm? You probably have all sorts of animals. What kinds of animals do you have on your farm?
Okay, so I raise blue heeler dogs, so that when you pan out on that picture, that's one of my blue heelers. That's my barbed wire, and she passed away. She was 13, so that's my honor to her. She was such a great dog. She raised me many puppies, and I raised puppies. I now have Kiva as my other female. And I have one puppy left out of a litter. So I raise pups, have chickens, lots of chickens, love eggs. And now that they're like gold, shoot, there's like diamonds out there.
You're using them for Valentine's proposals now.
Yeah. So then I have 30 head of cattle, raising Angus and Beefalo cross. So that's I love them. I like seeing the new babies. There's new calves coming now, so it's exciting. And so you just pray everything goes good. So no troubles. And then I have horses. I raise horses, and I also show horses. I have walking horses. And won some awards with that. I won 2 years ago. I was the state champion win Saddle Horse Pleasure. So that's got a big belt buckle, so I can wear that when I come to Texas. I got my own belt buckle. And then what other critters have I got? I've got cats, and I guess that's it. I used to have a pig, but it's gone.
Well, it's so beefalo, a cross between cattle and buffalo, but
Yes.
it's a bull and it can still reproduce.
Oh yeah, but it's a breed, beefalo. Yeah, so they look more, to the unknown person, it looks like a white, buffy looking cow, but they got fluffy hair in the front of their head like a buffalo. So and they're stocky, but they look more like a Charolais, which is a white cow. Yep, so it's mainly Charolais. So, but then you breed them to a black Angus bull, which I've got registered, and then you get black calves, which is the color to have. Yes, that's what sells. Is the black ones. Yeah,
right. We had Sentinel cattle growing up. Our family, that's what they raised, and I definitely have. I wouldn't call it a trophy, but a commemorable event on a Tennessee Walker. I got brave, decided to ride my showmanship horse for the first time ever in Grand Entry, and that was an episode.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
I was 9 weeks on crutches is what that was.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah, those are always those events. Yeah, well, I just had one of them events with my one that I won with. She's great on a parade. She's great with sirens and people and cheering, which usually freaks a horse out. But no, I go down a hill and it was muddy. So that was already dumb because she's flighty and jumpy. She's great in a show, but not in bush and woods. She got her foot stuck in one of them vines, freaked out, flipping around, twisting, and yeah, I was off, and I just had a total knee replacement, like not even a year, be April a year. So I'm like hiding, and there's a horse on top of me, but she leaped over and then ran to the barn. So yeah, I was not a happy camper, but I was okay. I was glad I was okay, and then I was mad.
Oh, and they always go back to the barn because they know they're in trouble, and that is where they belong. When they're in trouble, they're like, I'm just going to do what she wants. I'm going to the barn. I'm going to put myself in my room.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. I was yelling at her, and the more she got tangled up, the freakier she got, and it all went kibosh. Yeah, it was not good, but I survived. But those are the days in life. That's a cowgirl. That's what happens. So you just thankful you don't get hurt. That's all. Jump back on and ride again. That's it.
We were joking around this weekend. Our son wrecked his scooter and broke his arm. I told him if he would have gotten back on the horses, he would have learned in a padded arena how to properly fall. You tuck and roll. You don't try to catch yourself.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Well, see, I went down on my shoulder and rolled, so I was protecting my knee as her hooves went over my head, but I was okay.
You definitely learn after the first couple of times there is a correct way to fall.
Yeah. Yeah. If you use your hands, those wrists, they break. Yes, they do. Yep.
That's how a couple years ago, my daughter was riding her bike and she hit something and she just went straight forward and she broke her both bones completely in half, completely. And I'm just like tuck and roll. Thankfully, I'm surprised she didn't realize that when it happened, because she's been riding horses by the saddle horn by her armpit since she was 4. So.
Yeah, yes, sounds like it. Well, I did. I was gymnast for many years, so then you have to learn how to fall as being a gymnast. So yeah, it was competition gymnastics. So yeah, so at least I had that in my corner to leap back and jump on, so you don't get wiped out.
I think life's a series of learning how to properly fall.
Yes, it is. And get back up and try again. Yeah, that's it. That is life.
So funny. I want to thank you for spending the time on here. I know that you said that you got your new site. It's your name without the J,
Yeah.
Karree Phillips, PHILLIPS.com. Y'all
Yeah.
go check out her brand new site, help boost that algorithm. Go check out where you can get tickets to go visit her in Canada in July. If you're from Texas, the weather's probably going to be better in Canada in July.
It definitely is. I love leaving Nashville in July. Yes, because at home it's like 70s, 75. It's perfect. Yes, you will love it.
Right? At home, you're like turning into the snowman. Or in Nashville, turning into the snowman. He's like, I'm melting, I'm melting.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. Yeah, all the snowmans have moved up to Anchorage. Yeah, in the top of the Rockies in
We were
springtime.
just talking about how crazy the weather patterns have been and how like the year before I left, I was in Illinois. And for the first time in my life, it was negative 30 degrees for a whole month. Like we couldn't go to the store if we wanted to because the tires were frozen to the ground. Nobody could go anywhere. Our kids had online learning the year before COVID because no one could go anywhere. It was negative 30 degrees. That's crazy. And the crazy thing is, like, at the same time as it was negative 30 in Illinois, it was 55 degrees in Antarctica. Like,
Yeah.
so
Right.
crazy.
So it flipped. Yeah. Well, I've been in negative 60. That's brutal. Oh my God. That's when, well, at minus 40, and I'm used to that. Your diesel will gel. So you can't, so
Yes.
you gotta
That
put a
happened in
big parachute.
2021 in Austin. People were having their diesel was gelling over.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to think of. And then it snowed in Hawaii this year. So I'm like, where else can I move that I don't have this? Because obviously I didn't land far enough south in Texas and do it during that Valentine's Snowmageddon or whatever happened in 2021. I was only an hour and a half away from the border of Mexico, and that was all frozen over. I had no power at my hotel, so I know that I can't just go further south in Texas. It still snows down there.
They're still crazy.
Hawaii's
Yeah.
off the list.
It's really, being affected. Yeah. The weather patterns. It's kind of scary actually, what's happening. Yep.
I'm gonna have to come out with another hook for a song and just build a bubble.
Yeah.
Gonna have to build a bubble.
So that I can control it. Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, we are going to let you get back about your Monday because we all know that everybody just loves Mondaying.
Well, today at least was a holiday. I didn't even know it. See, on the ranch, you do the same thing every day. You feed the chickens, you wake up, you get all these chores done. I went to town and the grocery stores were nuts. It was bumper to bumper. Like, I know we have a snow, so as soon as snow is coming, then grocery stores are nuts. But then he goes, "Well, it's a holiday today." I'm like, "Well, what holiday is it?" I'm like, "I've been on the ranch fixing fence." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right." And when you don't have kiddos in school anymore, then you don't realize there's certain holidays. Yes.
Well, and it feels like President's Day lasted like the last 3 months already.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, it is a holiday today." It's like, okay, get with the times, Karree. Yep.
Let's talk about your song Age Gets Better Than Wine.
Yeah, age gets better with wine. Yes. Instead of, don't whining about it, take a little wine. And that's what it's about. Have a little. And it was written with a bartender. So he knows all about bartending and wine. And a lot of whining goes on there on the other side of that bar. Yes. So
Yes.
Tom Leonard's is my co-writer, and he's at the Commodore Grill here in West End in Nashville, where I perform a lot. And so we wrote this song, and it's a lot of fun about age gets better with wine. Mm-hmm.
I did newspaper delivery when my kids were little tiny because I could work at night and still be with them all during the day. And I believe that you are not wrong with the title of this song, because in Florida on recycling day, most people have like different items in their recycling bin, but Florida's like a retirement place. All of the recycling bins are the 1 gallon glass wine jars. I'm not kidding.
Yep. So you just have a little wine and it eases your day and eases your bones, and and away you go. Then quit your whining, girl. Have another glass.
They say a glass a day keeps the doctor away. You heard it from Karree Phillips. Thank y'all for tuning in for our Monday Night Live. We will see you again next Monday, 7 p.m., same time, same place. Tell your friends. Thank you, Karree.
Yeah. Thank you, Cynthia.
Well, I've learned a thing or two in my time on this earth, and I'll share one with you for whatever it's worth. To take the edge off any worry on your mind, all you need to do is uncork and unwind. Life's too short for sour grapes, so get you the good stuff and take a big old taste. Yeah, the older I get, the more that I find